Is anybody here? Oh my God, there are 4 people here. Sorry I'm late. I've been running around doing shit I don't need to be ready to do, but whatever, because I'm seeing Ringo tomorrow. How's everybody doing this morning? What are we doing? What are we up to? I'm going to mix my stupid little drink while I'm waiting for somebody to chat me. My dumb little beverage. There's 3 people here. Somebody's got to say something. Mom? Mother? Oh, come on, guys. People, talk to me. Anyway, so I'm just going to talk. Angel's here. Thank God. Ringo's left drumstick is here. Thank God. I thought that I was going to just start talking to myself. I was only going to be here for like 4 minutes. Scott's here. Okay. We got the Aussies in the chat. Okay. All right. All right. We can work with this. We can work with a crowd of 3. We can do that. How's everybody doing this morning? I tried reading a quote for Live Aid, like filming, and I started crying. Just saw your text. Let's talk later. Okay, that's not good. That means take it. That means, bitch, just take a fucking Uber. I don't want to take an Uber. I just want to walk. Anyway, we'll talk later. I just want to save as much money when I go to Chicago as I possibly can. The Chi is not cheap. I'm like literally doing whatever I possibly can to not even fucking buy food. I'm gonna bring granola bars and shit. I'm gonna be like stocking up on granola bars, and I'm gonna be like, hello, Starbucks, I will get a small coffee and charge my fucking phone. A bit tired, just got back from seeing mom in hospital. Scott, how's your mom doing? 94-year-old lady, young as a tiger, a spry spring chicken. Everybody sing good vibes to Scott's mom. All 7 of us, okay? Good vibes to Scott's mom. Good vibes to Athena, who I'm assuming is already on her way to work, which is a mistake. Athena should have stayed home. Athena, it's not too late to quit your job. I'm out here like endorsing reckless decisions. I'm like, quit your toxic job. Who needs a job? Nobody needs a fucking job. Nobody needs to pay their bills. Fun fact, our apartment company building people didn't post our rent, like the bill where you send the rent, until the 5th, and then send us an eviction notice on the 5th because we hadn't paid our rent before they had made it possible for us to pay our rent. I love living here. At the moment, hey, Beige. I'm just calling you Beige or Beige, depending on how I feel. At the moment, she's looking a bit better now. We have to decide if she has a valve replacement. Oh, that's tough because surgery at 94, it's like always a risk when you're going under. I don't know how your mom does in surgery. My mother-in-law, she goes on surgery all the fucking time. I don't understand. And like somebody like me, red hair, they can barely anesthetize me. I'm very scared of surgery for that reason. The second knee surgery I got, I came out, was immediately talking, and I go, where's Jared? That's my partner's name. Nobody docks me. And like that was the first thing, like both of my moms, like my mother-in-law and my mom were standing right there, and I go, where's Jared? It's like, fuck you guys. And he was like, I'm literally right here. I was getting the car. And I was like, okay. And then I go, I would like my nose ring, please. Because they take all that shit out. Hey, Johnny. Which I thought was stupid, and I still think is stupid that they make you take out your piercings. Because they're literally like, for some of the shit, screwed into your face. Like, it's not coming out. They're like, well, what if you swallow it? I'm not. It's like literally not possible. Anyway, we will know tomorrow. We will see what the cardio team decides. Hopefully, it's a good decision, Scott. Hopefully, it's the best and safest decision for Mama. We are all rooting for Mama Taylor and any other 94-year-old women, men, or MBs out there going for a valve replacement. All right. Anyway, I got some shit at the store. I got the world's biggest setting spray, but I was like, I don't want my makeup to run. So, hey, Ellen, how's it going? I hear a cat interruption coming. I need to fucking retint my eyebrows already. God. This late summer heat is not doing it for me. But luckily, the weather in Chicago tomorrow looks decent. And unluckily for me, my partner is like an over planner. So he's like, hey, big dog, I think we should get up tomorrow. By the way, my fucking thing doesn't leave until 9:30. Okay. It takes an hour and a minute to get down there. And he's like, I think we should get up tomorrow at 6:40 a.m. Okay. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, I think we should leave at 7. And I'm like, leave at 7. So we'll get there like 8. And he's like, well, there will be traffic. We'll have to get gas, which takes like 2 minutes. And we'll probably get something to eat. And I'm like, okay. But it says on the thing to get there 15 minutes in advance. So like, we'll still be there like at least 45 minutes early at the very best. And I'm going to be sitting there with that dude who is like an anxious little motherfucker. I'm going to see, are you going to the bingo or something? I'm going to the bingo. I'm going to the bingy. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do did you guys know that was way too much? That was just like empty it out. That was way too much. If you guys get caffeine drinks, do not like somebody who knows what that is going to be like, good Lord. But it's all I'm having today. So, rank real love free as a bird and now and then. Hang on. But I'm not forgetting what I was going to do. Okay. I'm going to text Angel what I was going to do so I don't forget it. Well, I will, Scott, I will be getting a good view of him because I am in the 4th row. Because my friend bought this for me. Oh, hey. Okay. Angel, I'm just texting you so I don't forget. I could write it down, but I might forget it. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. Content Daddy, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me, Content Daddy. I'm not doing anything wrong. What do you think? Like, I'm not. Okay. Jackie, if you knock this over, I'm going to... Content Daddy is such a bitch. Content Daddy is such a bitch. Why can't we just listen to a song together? See, I would because I'm on stream and I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter. hang on here. I'm still nervous about this because I don't want to put my channel in jeopardy in any way, shape, or form. We're going to turn off monetization. I don't get really a lot of money from these anyway. So, okay. I'm not looking at the chat. You guys can't get me. You guys can't sway me. I'm not looking at anybody's opinions right now. I know this song too well. Okay. So taking out the bridge and now and then is still like very egregious. So that's one thing, but it's going to have to be real love. Then see now and then and free as a bird. Free as a bird has never been like, oh, fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? For me personally. But now and then I don't jam out to now and then though, because it's kind of like, it's just a nostalgia piece. Like it's not like, I don't know, if it just makes me sad because it's like old, you can hear old men voices. So, which it wasn't quite so obvious on the 95. I'm really looking forward to hearing Real Love, but Real Love's first. And I don't know about the other two. They're kind of neck and neck for like, that's okay. Louise says, low-key Real Love grew on me so much these past weeks. I'm eager for the 2025 version. Me too. In the good old days of pub rock here in Australia in the 1980s, it was pretty messy. Coming home with beer-soaked clothes. Yeah, I bet. Weird Al was going to do a parody of Free called Gee, I'm a Nerd. Oh my God. You're lost to us. I'm always lost. Okay, let's see. I was waiting to hear now and then with my dad. He died 1 month before the song released. Oh, shit. I'm sorry if you still hadn't heard it. Like, way worse way for me to hear it, like, to play it for you then. Anyway, so Real Love wins. I just think it sounds like really, that sounds the most like a Beatles song. Lyrically, now and then is so essential to continuing the story. I agree. Now and then, like sonically, sounds very good, and it's very. I prefer it genre wise more than Free as a Bird. So I guess it would be Real Love, then Now and then Free as a Bird. Where are my rings? I guess they're in the other room. My hands are naked. Okay. I got in a little fight with somebody about the For Paul thing on the tape. And like, they were like, are we sure that John wrote that? And I was like, I don't know. I was just talking because it's like the canonical thing. And I didn't look into it. I said this a bazillion times that this was just like a quick chat about anthology. And somebody got real pissy about it. And I was like, and they got mad because I was talking about how old fans are like shitty to younger fans about like being excited about anthology, which is something that I saw over and over again. And he was like, I'm tired of the younger community shitting on the older community. And I'm like, who's stepping on whose toe first? I said, if I'll give you more grace, then give me more grace. And he was like, okay, well then talk about the For Paul thing. And I'm like, okay, man screaming at bird, like relax. What was I going to look up? Okay. Now, since I'm saying Ringo here, I prefer the various demo versions of Real Love than the Beatle-fied version. Disagree. No, I heard it with my girlfriend the week it released. Oh, learned to play it, then played it for my grandma who also likes the Beatle. It came full circle nicely. Very sweet. So since I'm seeing Ringo, we're going to read his tour writer because it is the funniest thing. It was released from a 2023 show. So I'm assuming that it doesn't change that much, in the last couple of years. Starr's dressing room demands are sure on the simple side. To eat and drink, he'll have 4 fresh baked organic oatmeal cookies, no raisins, 6 small bottles of Icelandic glacial spring water, 1 small organic fruit basket, 1 organic dark chocolate bar, 90% or greater in cacao, and a jar of organic honey. Locally sourced is encouraged. In his room, he needs a TV with cable and a remote. I love that they specify. And an internet connection with a strong signal, a sofa, comfy chairs, a full-length mirror, a small round table for 4 with 4 chairs, 4 black linen napkins, 2 black linen tablecloths, 4 clean hand towels, and some liquid soap. So it says, this is talking about COVID stuff. Ringo was always a germaphobe, because he was sick. He does the elbow bumps. So the tour takes coronavirus seriously, requiring all local helpers to be vaccinated, boosted, masked, and recently tested. Guess what? Where I live, we can't get boosted anymore. Unless if you're over 65. So that's cool. Consider our backstage and all working areas as a bubble scenario, tour management advises. In case of emergency, host venues must make arrangements to have available at a short notice a physician, a chiropractor, and a dentist. Also required, 1 day of show massage therapist whose services shall be utilized either at venue or at artist hotel. He's got to stay spry for those jumping jacks. Consider this more of a friendly request or requirement. Canine sweep of backstage and all dressing room is always appreciated by the artist. Also, depending on day and place, a police escort may be requested to and from the venue. If the concert venue is within 3 hours of New York or Los Angeles, Starr prefers the drive, with the host providing an SUV or town car to take him to and from LaGuardia, JFK, or LAX. Elsewhere, the tour requires 1 SUV with tinted windows and a driver to transport Starr and his lawyer, Bruce I don't know how to say that, plus 2 vans, 1 for the band, 1 for the 25 bags they'll be carrying. His tour carries his own juicer and convection oven from city to city and requires the same 11 items, all organic, be left in the artist's food preparation room. 12 lemons, 6 green apples, 2 pineapples, 2 small seedless watermelons, a half pound of carrots, 4 medium-sized red beets, 1 bunch of celery, a pound of ginger root, a half pound of green asparagus, thin pieces preferred, 2 heads of fresh broccoli, and 4 medium-sized russet potatoes. No peeling or slicing of any said fruits or veggies. Chauffeurs who smoke. A room of lesser quality than a presidential or grand suite. If the trip involves an overnight hotel stay, uniformed security guards patrolling the front of stage during the band's performance and forgetting the after-show food and drink for the band. Crews and buses to be ordered from the local restaurants. TBD. There is nothing exotic and no alcohol in this request, management writes. Just good local takeout that makes sense for the end of night. Here's what Paul's is for a show coming up. My friend sent me. Let me get it. Oh, hang on. I'm a little scandalized about not having raisins in the oatmeal. I like a good oatmeal raisin. Okay, so here's Paul's. This one is so funny. It's just like old man stuff. No, Ringo famously in the All Starr band, he tours in this. I have no idea how they make money. Like, it's just cush. It's like private jets, movie stars. Like, it's all glamour. Like, it is the nicest. Oh, hi, Belsky. Okay. I wanted to give you this note to pass on to the electricians. I always seem to be blowing fuses in the dressing room area because we do not have enough electricity. Thank you for your help, Colette. So reminder, this is Paul's. Electric note. 4 separate electrical circuits in each room. Very important. Like, look at how big this is. It's like, don't fuck this shit up. Okay. 120 volts in band lounge, band dressing room, PM Paul lounge, Paul dressing room, and wardrobe. All cabling must be provided by local MPL will provide none. Uh, Extension cords and power strips, we will need enough cords and plugs to power everything listed below. The reason we asked for 4 separate electrical circuits in PM lounge, PM dressing room, band lounge, and band dressing room and wardrobe. We run a lot of electric appliances at the same time. In the past, we have experienced circuit overloads because an average electric plug cannot handle the entire electrical draw we require. Listed below per room are all the electric appliances that have the potential to be turned on at the same time. Industrial lighted makeup mirror, industrial lighted full-length mirror, heater/fan, tea kettle, hair dryer, industrial humidifier/dehumidifier, power strips, 4 for recharging cell phones, heating/air conditioning. Here's like the room requirements. These rooms must have proper heating/air. Are you guys okay? We've got 3 cats in here making lots of noises. Conditioning with control of the temperature that is easily controlled by MPL personnel. And this is the best part. This is underlined, bold, and italicized. So it's got all 3. Bathroom facility. Paul's bathroom must be immaculate. No rubber sports mats on the floor. Clean, all caps, toilet with a secure seat, no wobblies. He doesn't want to fall. He's an old man. Bathroom must have flushable toilet. Shower, hand basin must have hot and cold running water. And when I saw that, I go, Paul, your outhouse childhood is showing. It's like, and Jazz goes, he doesn't want to trip on the mats. And I said, I love that. He's like, I need a full-length mirror, lighting, hair dryer, pristine bathroom. John's ghost always fucks with me in the bathroom. And I've about had it. He's an old man. He doesn't want to fall off the toilet. He's like, this old man wants his tea kettle. And I guess my friend Jazz, their dad works for this arena or wherever, and it was like kind of a hater about that. And I'm like, that all seems very reasonable to me. Like, if you look at Ringo's, which is like, give us all the food. We have Ringo's food preparation room. Like, we did it. And Paul's like, please, for the love of God, no rubber mats and no weird toilet seats. Okay? Like, he's just like, Billy Sheard needs a lot of stuff for a farm boy. Yeah, he really does. He's like, I need hot and cold running water. I need a shower and a hand basin. It's like, baby, we just call that a sink over here. I don't know. And a hand basin. He's like, I don't know what you guys are doing with your weird porta potties. So Paul does not like porta potties. He wants a real toilet. And you know what? I don't feel like for a Beatle that seems very outrageous. I looked at Beatles writers before, and they're just all like, because we're talking in the 60s, you know, it's just mostly about transport and how many cops they need, which is just like cops on cops on cops on cops, and transport like in and out of the venue because they needed to get in and out. And it was like, essentially like, you need to provide a shit ton of cops, a lot of transport, dual methods of getting out, and like, just be fucking fast. I wonder what is a weird toilet seat, like those Japanese ones that have a water jet pointed somewhere weird. Oh, so a bidet? Well, what he wants is a sturdy seat. Like, he just doesn't want it to be uneven or rocking. Can you guys hear Nails? Do it again, bud. You guys hear him? He's so loud. He is so loud. Hang on. Let me go let him out. Or let him in, I guess. Yes, you can go into bed. So Nails is my middle child. And he is, even though my oldest is named Prince, Nails is the princess of the group. Like, he has got demands, and he will let you know. And one of the demands is, if somebody is lone sleeping in there, he's like, I want in there. Okay. I'm sleeping with you. And I get extremely upset if I'm not allowed in there. Do not lock me out. I have sleep headphones though, so I can almost tune them out. I've changed in a pub cupboard before where they kept boxes of crisps and peanuts. So as a swimmer, this is probably TMI. I've changed so many places. Like, I can still, as a 35-year-old, without the flexibility that I used to have, even though I still do physical therapy every day, I can still change in and out of a swimsuit, like right in front of you, underwear full both ways, and you would not see a thing. Like, I could change right in front of you. And I had, swim team members. We were all like the modest girls team. But I've had swimming, like, teammates that would literally, some of the boys, they would just change right in front of us. Like, and it would just be like, you put a towel up and it's like, John Lennon's live performance demands, don't ask me to perform. John Lennon's live performance demands, don't ask me to remember the lyrics. I feel like George's writer would probably be like, don't talk to George, don't look at George. And if George is talking to your wife, just forgive your wife. She had no choice in the matter. Your wife slept with George Harrison. Like, not that's not true. She absolutely had a choice in the matter, but it's like, it's just kind of like, just she got Beatle dick. It's fine. Just forgive your wife. Let the ladies through. Don't talk to George. And if George is in a preaching mode, you're just gonna have to listen to it and let it go. Don't say anything. Just go, wow, you're so smart. Try to deal with Olivia and no one else. You'll be fine. It's just such an interesting dichotomy of, like, Paul's is just electric, full lighted mirror and makeup mirror, industrial makeup mirror. And, and he's like hair dryer. And Ringo's is like food. I need a lot of food. Okay. And I need the best of food. 90% or more cacao and locally sourced honey, please. Very funny. Ugh. Anyway, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say other than this shit. I just needed to touch base before I go clean my apartment and try to survive the day, try to sleep or something. But I don't know. I'm hoping to sleep on the bus tomorrow. But like, try to conserve battery. But I'm not going to be doing a video on the Ringo show, like, or anything like that. I just want to be able to enjoy this for myself. And then on Thursday, I'm going to do like a little live stream on Patreon to talk about it. The nerves for the gig are building. Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. I don't really, like, I'm almost mildly, and I don't want to sound dramatic, but like mildly agoraphobic. I don't really leave much. I have my place where I walk and I do my physical therapy, and I have like very regimented, like, I don't leave very much. I don't go see people. I'm I'm actually not very outgoing in real life. I'm actually very, like, insular and isolated. So I'm nervous about it. And if I don't go anywhere without Jared. Like, it's just for stuff like this. I don't do anything without him. So, like, I don't know. I'm nervous about it. Like, not for like safety or anything, just because, like, I'm a little bitch, So I'm nervous. But it's just, whatever. Try and save your voice, Lars. I suspect there will be a lot of singing. Yeah, probably. But I don't think I'm going to talk to anybody until I get there. And I probably won't be talking to anybody at the show either, because I'm just going to be sitting there, like, just reading Live Aid books on my phone. Maybe I'll make a friend. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know anyone who's going to the show, so I don't know. I'm nervous, but then also, like, this is so not really nobody in the chat is gonna care about this, but my favorite Stephen King book, and I love Stephen King, um, back from the Richard Bachman days, is being adapted into a movie, The Long Walk, and it's coming out on Friday, and my brother is coming for the earliest showing of that on Friday at 2:10 PM. So it's like a big week for me. It's Lars's big week. Lars's big week. And then on the 24th, I see Poppy live, which I'm really excited about. So Lars is a big month. I should ask if any of my friends are going to go. Yeah. One of my friends said, because they've gone like in VIP before, because I've never been to like a show this big, and I've never been like in a VIP like ever. So I was not expecting my friend to buy me tickets, let alone VIP fourth row tickets. So I'm like, oh, okay. So what time do I need to get there? And it was Caitlin Larkin from the Beatles Sirius XM channel. And Caitlin was like, you don't have to worry about getting there early. Like you don't even have to worry about getting there at doors. Like just get there, you know. And I haven't decided if I'm going to try to get there early or not. I like the Stephen King book on the JFK that was made into a TV series. The theater is beautiful. Yeah, I've been the second King Diamond show that I went to was at the Chicago Theater. It was awesome. But I'm nervous. It was not sold out, but this one's going to be. Or close, or maybe not quite sold out, but it's going to be close. I can't imagine that people buy last minute tickets to a Beatle. Like it's unless if you just got fuck you money. You know what I mean? Two of my life sessions are Stephen King. I'm assuming obsessions are Stephen King and the Beatles. Good obsessions here. Ringo's still selling out concerts in 2025. What a man. Yeah. Ringo is so cool. The fact that he like runs on the stage and he does all those jumping jacks and he's just so happy. He just likes putting on a show. Same with Paul. Like people sometimes will say like, this is Paul's last tour. And I'm like, Paul has openly said multiple times that he's not going to stop touring until he dies. He's like, I'm not retired. I don't plan on retiring. So he's not going to retire. They just like performing. So they're not going to stop performing. Oh shit. There's stuff I forgot to get, including the neck stuff. Because this is bothering me. I have this like rash on my neck and it hurts. Anyway, went to the store this morning and forgot a bunch of shit. Shocking. What if I wind up ending this live stream under an hour? Seems like something Lars would do, right? The low energy live. People are like, why am I here? Yeah, no, by the way, Scott, I loved that book. I ate that book up. Paul was the last one to stop touring in 1966. Yeah, he was. And I think that was for multiple reasons. Paul liked touring, but I think he also was worried about losing the unity as a band. And he admits that more so now, but didn't as much then. And they performed so well. Funny thing was that Paul performed 3 hours on the hot tropical night of Brazil, and Taylor did like 1 hour and a half and got compared to an 83-year-old man. Yeah. I mean, I don't have like a lot of opinions on Taylor Swift. I used to listen to like, I liked her Reputation album. It came out during a very vengeful era for me, so I was into it. But there's a lot, like there's just a lot with Taylor. There's just so much Taylor Swift stuff, and it's like, you know, I listened to her most recent album when it came out, and I just thought that there was a lot of repetition in the melody, and it just didn't do it for me. Like no shade. Like I'm sure that it's like really fun to be a fan because there's so much stuff, but it's just a lot of shit. I was watching home movie / newsreel footage of the Beatles' visit to India last night. I didn't know that John and George went there first. Angel, yes, you did. You've seen my White Album video. You knew that. When you got up on stage, you will let the guys who are confident to get you through. That's Paul. Yeah, absolutely. I don't have the timeline in front of me. Yes, I do. I can pull it up. TSA. Let me go find it. Was this before? Let me see. Timeline. Shit. Let's see. February 16th, George, John, respective wives, and Magic Alex arrive in India. February 19th, Ringo and Paul join. March 1st, Ringo and Mo leave. March 26th, over 27th, Paul and Jane leave with Mal. And April 11th, 12th, George and John leave. And then Patty and George go and visit Ravi before coming home. And then they start working on White Album, issue demos, like mid-late May, and they get in the studio first day, like May 30th. Also, seeing how John and George didn't walk with their ladies, Paul and Ringo did. Yeah, John looks like a total asshole in all those photos and stuff. Yeah, like John just looks so disconnected. It's really hard to watch. I'm very, very empathetic with John. Like most of the time, I think I go out of my way to be really empathetic and understanding with John. I think that shows really well in my domestic violence video. I was trying my hardest to like show the humanity, but the India trip specifically, I'm like, you're on your own, brother. You look like a dick, probably because he wasn't doing drugs. Yeah. Poor Cynthia. You can see she was getting the cold shoulder from John. Cold shoulder is like, even like, I think that's almost the nicest way. It's like he's literally going out of his way to hurt her. And he does. Like on their flight home. Well, no, because I think Peter Brown was there. No, somebody was there with them and wrote about it. And Cynthia also wrote about it. On their flight home, he starts listing out all the times that he cheated on her. Like, he's like, I didn't just cheat on you on tour. I cheated on you in Liverpool, and I cheated on you in this to this, and I cheated on you in this. And she's like, I get it, John. Like, it's okay. Like, bygones, it's going to be fine. And he's like, no, Sin, you don't understand. I was really horrible. I was really horrible. And like started listing off like the celebrities and like all this stuff. And she's like, no. I like water under the bridge. We've got a family. Like, it's fine. And he was like, and he made it very like selfish. Like he was sobbing and saying stuff along the lines of, it's so fucked up. I'm totally dedicated to fixing our family, and I'm going to put you and Jules first. When we get home, it's going to be you and me and Julian, and it's going to be a united family front. And we know how that happened. And then he goes, go on vacation. It's fine. I don't need to go with you. I had a bad time with John in your domestic violence video. See, that surprises me because I feel like, I don't know. I felt like everything I was talking about regarding John was just so common knowledge. I just put it all in one place. And it wasn't everything. It was just the most credible. It was not, I was very specific with the DV video that I only wanted to use firsthand sources from people that experienced stuff from them, because I didn't want people coming to shit on me or any of the authors. Didn't need the authors because the people that had experienced it had spoken. So I took their firsthand accounts and I just put it all in one spot because I was really tired of seeing a couple of things. Um, I was really tired of seeing, like, it was kind of going on short form media. Um, Mal Evans' double life domestically, if you read his bio, is troubling. Mal Evans, so regarding like grooming and consent issues, I'm so sorry, you guys, but Mal is the one who has the issues with that. Like, Mal is the one who took advantage of like groupies and girls. So the other boys were like very Casanova and they had fun and, blah, blah, blah. But like regarding kind of against the will or coercion or like where do you live and like all that stuff, that was Mal. I'm sorry. I didn't want to read it either. Like, and it's not just in that bio. Like it's like a well-known long-term thing. It's pretty fucking gross actually. Um but no, regarding the DV stuff, I was really sick of seeing like if you understood John, it would make more sense. And in like saying that information without explaining what it would be and maybe why those things might make sense. And I just thought, okay, I'm just going to put it all in one spot. So, you know, my channel is small enough. Uh, this is like half my job is YouTube stuff. Half my job is journalism. Like if I tank my channel or ruin my career by doing this, like I can still be a journalist full time. I can, disappear into the ether. So I decided I'm just going to do it. And I decided to do it. I was also extremely furious about just this ongoing conversation or narrative that Ringo abused Mo because he didn't. Ringo abused alcohol and then he abused is so difficult with specifically the Barb thing. But he beat the shit out of Barb and they fought publicly and she has spoken about their alcoholism, their joined alcoholism, but has never given like her account regarding that night. And I think it was just difficult for her. And she really struggled too. But we can't take away and I was just really tired of it being like Ringo beat his wives when it wasn't a double thing. So I was just like, I'm going to tell this story where it was definitely bad. Like it's not okay. But John, I want to explain that John has a history of violence and Ringo had a moment of violence. And it was bad. Like, and when I say a moment, he had a decade of violence, like a decade of violence of just, and the fact that they fought publicly, like throwing bottles at each other, they had public slap fights is crazy to me. And I feel like I almost think it's kind of funny because I just feel like for sure Barb got in some good ones, right? Like she's taller than him. I just think about and I'm like, this Bond girl could probably beat the shit out of Ringo Starr. I just think it's kind of funny, but clearly those two, I can't admire them enough. They put in the work, and they're clearly so in love with each other. They put in the work and it is hard to rebuild trust. It is hard to get sober. It is hard to get sober when you're that far in. And they both did it. They did it at the same time. They put their sobriety first. And then they worked on their marriage. And hey, Sasha. And I just can't commend them enough. I mean, it's just hard. And so they put in the work. And so it's like, anyway, let's go back to the comments. My girlfriend used to be a lot more judgmental of John before I made her through your video. She used to think of the classic John beat wife without really caring or diving into the topic. My lifelong crush on Patty will sadly go unrequited. I loved her Get Back cameo. Yeah, it's good because half of the public conversation now about John is about his abuse. It's good to have it all kind of consolidated in one space. Yeah, like I'm not saying I did some sort of public service, but I think if I did one important video, that was probably important. Like, just, okay, well, there is one video where this person put it all in one spot. So, like, if you want to know about it, just go watch that. You know, it is still not my favorite video. It's still not the most important video to me. Like, nothing is going to top what the Lost album means to me, and nothing is going to top what the White album means to me. Like, those are two different things. Um, but like, as far as I feel as it could be a resource where you could just say, somebody put this together and it's all just sourced and it's just in one spot and it's done from a place of humanity and not dismissing anything because I couldn't. And I just, there are things like, there are personal life things with the Beatles that are really stressful for me to talk about, but frankly, that is not one of them. It's a powerful video. Thank you. I want my... I think the... Oh, shit. I think the topic is, like, really important. But I want my most powerful video to be the concert for Bangladesh video. Sorry. I'm so sorry. God, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. That one is just harder. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I just, there's in dealing with the Live Aid stuff and just like actual life and death. And I'm sitting here talking about how George and Paul didn't hate each other. And I'm like, these people are dying. I'm so sorry. And the thing is, like, I don't know if I'll ever make anything that matters, but I care about everything I put out. Everything. Thanks, Belsky, however you say that. Consensual hug accepted. I care so I care so much. And that's why, like, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed right now. Fuck. Lars, come on. It's because I swear it's because I haven't slept. I'm so sorry. I just care too much. I care too much. And I really care. Like, I think the people that don't, like, know me, not the people here, they think that it's, like, about views or something. It's so not about views. Like, if it were about views, I would keep up with all this, like, the Lennon releases and all this stuff. But I'm, like, not a short form person, so I just lose all my relevance, and I understand that. But I just can't keep up. I do what I care about. And I lose, like, whatever out, but it doesn't matter to me because when I put out some random fucking video, it's like something that I care about. Stuck on Wax, I'm so sorry. We were talking about concert for Bangladesh and I started crying because I feel bad about kids dying. And so we were talking about, like, Live Aid, and before that we were talking about John and Ringo domestic violence video, and I just started crying. And before that we were talking about Ringo's tour rider, which is excessive. Nothing, and it's so stupid. Like, I'm sorry, this is, like, the worst time to show up. I just, like, started sobbing like a fucking moron, and I'm really embarrassed. And what's stupid too is that some of the TV stuff that I never put out, that I found, like, especially the Lost stuff, that there's stuff that like is out there that is so vulnerable. Like, I cried like this too about these fucking characters. But Lost is like it's like a fictional dive into humanity, and that's why you get so stuck with them. Maybe if I cry enough right now, I will be good tomorrow before seeing Ringo. My face is so blotchy. Fuck. Thanks, guys, for the support. My cat's literally using the litter box right now. He's like, you want a distraction? Or at least cry yourself to sleep. Yeah, no shit. And I'll have Nails outside the room crying at me like, meow. But yeah, I am proud of putting the domestic violence video out. I've never been so nervous to put something out. Like, because I was expecting, well, generally any video I put out about John, it's absolutely fucking insane how mean people are generally about John. It's crazy. But or they were in my earlier videos, but they're not so much now. Though I did hide a couple of people, like, and they were just like, you know, but they were more coming at me and stuff. But generally, I have to say, you guys, for the domestic violence video, like 97, 98% positive comments. Like, people were really ready to have that conversation. I'm very impressed. And I was very relieved. And I think people were like Alan, they were disappointed to learn some things, or it's hard to see it all at once, you know, but it's just, I think Alan said something, and this is not me like poking at Alan, but it was in a community post where it was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to forgive Alan or John for this. And I stand by this, and I know it's hard, but it is not our apologies to accept. Like, the victims of John's violence, outside of, I believe, the first girl, like, they received apologies and loved John for his humanity and forgave John in the difficult times. And those were the apologies that those are the forgiveness that he would reckon with. And that's the forgiveness to give. It is not our job to weigh John's and Ringo's morality. Like, we are not the arbiters of that. And at least I can't sit here and weigh a moral truth. I think it's really egotistical if I wanted to do that. So I think it's really toxic to like say I can't forgive someone. And this is not Alan, you know, I'm not poking at you. Like, it's not at Alan. It's like a conversation, particularly I think with the younger crowd. And this is coming from a millennial, so I am part of the younger crowd, but it's just like very black and white. And we just like we weren't the people who were hurt by this. So all we can do is have a conversation about it, talk about it openly, talk about how we can do better. Like, that's the way we do it. And like, if you're someone, you see yourself in these actions, then receive help. You know, you can give yourself help if you're the abuser or the abused. You know, Alan, thank you for seeing my heart, because I don't want you to feel attacked at all. Because like Alan is like, you know, one of the main commenters, always involved in Abby's and Nancy's and my channel. So I wasn't trying to, it was just like one thing where, but I think because he really loves the Beatles, but there are girls, I'm so sorry, it is mostly girls, younger girls, that are just like, he beat his wife. And I'm like, that is just so much. And it's not that he didn't hit sin, because he did, you know, but it's a lot deeper than that. And also, like, we just can't be the arbiters of like who gets to forgive him because we don't. Like it's just we just have to take it as it is. My biggest thing with John is that he recognized that he had toxic sides to him. I mean, it's all over his music. John didn't really hide that, did he? And not that that makes it okay, but the self-awareness goes a long way. We got to confront the worst side of people we admire to truly see them as human beings. John was a troubled man all his life, and no amount of talent can hide it. True. Do you like Paul and Ringo on Howard Stern show? So here's the thing, I don't, but it's not because of them. It's because I don't like Howard Stern. And I know that that's not always a popular opinion, but I think Howard Stern is just unlike, excuse me coming out with this like, oh, we should be good people and not judgmental. Howard Stern, I feel like is just like a really bad person. Like, and I'm sorry. Like, I have a hard time with him because I just feel like he's not done some good stuff. Like, and just thinks it's funny. And there wasn't a lot of apologies because people like killed someone and like killed themselves or like died, and it was just really bad. And Howard Stern, I think, should not have a platform. So sometimes I like one of my jokes with one of my friends was, and I think it was with Sam, who's wow on here, where it was like questions we could ask the Beatles, where I was like, who was the worst talk show you've ever been on and why was it Howard Stern? Or how much money did the Stern show pay you and why was it the worst experience you've ever had in your life? Like, I think it's just he obviously built a relationship with the rockers, which is great, and I'm happy for them. But I just think that Howard Stern is just so fucking toxic. Hey, Matt. Sorry, I was sobbing earlier. But I think he's just so toxic and just like a real nasty guy. But I still think that the way he did the "fuh you" like joke, I just thought it was so funny. There's a whole rabbit hole considering their interviews with Howard Stern. I gotta say, I've seen a good amount of them, but I hate that guy so much that I don't think I could correctly cover the situation because it would just be, my bias would be all over the place. It would not be fair. It would not be fair at all. And I would just be like, well, they said this and it was Howard Stern. And like, it would just be really nasty on my part. I don't think it would be conducive for anyone. There would be no redeeming qualities except for Lars being petty. And just but maybe the only redeeming quality is seeing more information from the Beatles. I would just have to make a compilation. Rock and Roll Field Trip podcast. I feel like on Ringo's interview with Howard Stern most recently, Ringo could barely hide his disdain for Howard. Not sure why Ringo even went on the show. I think that there must be some sort of management. I would say management, but isn't Mary MPL manages Paul? So like management is from inside. Is Ringo, who manages Ringo? To George, Yoko sat in that chair moment. But they love Dick Cavett. Dick Cavett like got them though. That's the thing. And Dick Cavett put up with them like reading the ad rolls and stuff. I think that he got them. Also, this is Alice from your Patreon. Hi, Alice. Publicity department. Okay. Also hate comparing contrasting done among the Beatles, like the whole John is the worst crap. They're all the Jesus Christ. Like Marcus, I agree because they're all the worst. My God. Like I'm just like, look at you dorks, like dork, you annoying little dorks coming from me, and I'm the worst. I was literally sobbing on here less than 10 minutes ago. And I was saying, I'm so sorry. My face got all blotchy and it's still blotchy. Like a fucking moron. People that I've never met. Like I know something out here. But I'm like, they're all the worst. They're all the worst. Catch them on their worst day. God, they're all the worst. They all suck. We all suck. Like we all fucking suck. My mom, amazing person. My mom is an amazing person. Okay. But she loves conspiracy theories. And the other day she was talking to me about adrenochrome. Like we're all the worst. I was like, uh-huh. Me suck too. Yeah, we all suck. But no, when was Ringo's most recent Howard Stern interview? Because maybe I should watch it. If he's hating, then I'm hating. If Ringo's hating, then I'm hating. Dick Cavett was an intellectual who knew how to do interviews and be quiet. Dick Cavett is like my hero. I think he was so great. He was graceful. He handled the Brit humor very well. And you'll notice, I'm sure we've all noticed, that a lot of American talk shows just didn't handle Brit humor well at all. And they didn't understand when to be serious with with Brits either. The most egregious one, and this is a little later on, but we all know the most egregious one, heartbreaking, was Pete Best David Letterman interview. Oh my God, my heart. Wasn't that the most disgusting thing you've ever seen? I mean, obviously not the most disgusting thing, but like if we're talking about Beatle related talk show interviews, was that not the most just egregious? I think maybe even including Stern. I actually think John would have been a QAnon believer, half joking. No, I kind of see it. I kind of see it though. John and my mom would have gotten along. I don't think that the Beatles and I would have been friends. Like, no offense to me or to the Beatles. We just don't have that much in common. Like, I think I would really like to be a fly on the wall, and I would like to learn more about them, but I don't think we would be like buddies. I think out of all of the Beatle people, I think Brian and I would get along, and I think Jeff Emmerich and I would get along because of our shared anxiety issue, which is crazy because I don't think that Jeff Emmerich is like always the most truthful. I know that George Martin and I would get along, but um, but the Beatles and I wouldn't be friends like at all, and it's just because we just don't have we just don't run in the same, you know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But my mom and John Lennon they would have had 3-hour phone calls. Hey, did you see this YouTuber? And he'd be like, girl. No, you know what? No. Linda and I would be besties. Have you ever noticed in early interviews how in the UK everyone sounds so upper class and they really don't? Yeah. And I really appreciated them in one of the Aussie interviews with Jimmy Nicol. Jimmy says something ain't, and then he goes, sorry, aren't. And Paul goes, no. Say what you're saying. Like, don't fix your tone. Just be you. John would also absolutely shitpost on Twitter whenever he had the chance. John, okay, let's go into this. Let's talk about fun stuff. Okay. John would have put Ringo's emoji game to shame. John would have been absolutely fucking insane. Like, John would put Zach Starkey's ass crack photos to shame. Like, we've already seen way too much of John naked. We would see so much more of John naked. It would be like, oh my God, please put your dick away. John and I would have a similar sense of humor, so we'd probably be friends at first. I want to think that Ringo and I would be friends, but it's more like I'm just so fascinated by the guy that I don't think that they'd want to be around me because they'd be like, stop analyzing me. And delete it 10 minutes later. Yeah, John would be tweet and delete. Lars, you've just bought 2019 mix of Abbey Road. Do you like it? What is your opinion of Giles Martin's work? So I've been listening to it a lot and I've been loving it to death. I'm not sure if I have a good comparison because I don't have any other mixes on vinyl. I mean, obviously I've listened to the other mixes in my headphones or on my computer. But I got to tell you guys, I've been dancing. I've been crying. Shocking. But Abbey Road has been the saving grace to the live show stuff. The live show is really heavy. Angel and I are having just absolute mental breakdowns every other day about it. It's really heavy. It's like it literally, I think spiritually and psychologically takes a toll on you. Why are you back on? Are you getting excited, overexcited about the Ringo gig? Are you kidding me? What's next? Revolver 2022? Well, I bought Fleetwood's Tusk. Crazy story. I met Giles Martin in the international arrival area of DC airport in April. Oh my God. How was it? Tell me everything. I think that George would not post on social media, but then like randomly do kind of what Danny does, where Danny comes on and he like is pacing and he's like, I just wanted to tell everybody thank you for the support and I love you guys and we're traveling to blah 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 and I see your support and I think you guys are great, and he's like wearing like 4 hoods and has like a beanie on and it's like you can hear the snow underneath his feet. I feel like that's what George would do. He was so nice and down to earth, also very handsome and tall. I was a nervous wreck. I feel like Giles and I would be besties. I don't always like his work, but I feel like it was from the interviews I've seen, he's very much like me. He completely falls into like he completely falls into a project, like totally envelops himself into a project, goes absolutely insane no matter what the subject is, and then comes out of it and does another one. That's how I am. He took a picture with me and answered my questions. Oh, that makes me so happy. George is the kind of guy who would only post videos of himself saying what he wants rather than type it out. Yeah, and George, if George is posting, it would be absolutely nothing about music, probably. It would just be like, hey guys, I found this new thing. It would be like this new plant. What would Paul post on social media? If Paul was posting on social media and not the team, I mean, it would be a lot of those, hang on. I know what he would post. We'll have to scroll for a minute, but I'll find it. Well, I think those videos of Paul with the not Facetune, my God, Snapchat filters, that would be part of it. Like we'd be seeing a lot of that where he'd be like, oh, ho, ho, ho. You know, that would be part of it. Then shit like this, where it's like, your dog looking at Easter bunnies. But hang on, there's one specific one that I think he would be posting shit like this, but I have to find it. My God, Paul's team is on top of shit. He has so many posts that are just like RIP, which is kind of sad. Like these, like yoga stuff. This is John Eastman. But I'm thinking about his yoga upside down photo. Specifically that. Like that's what he would be doing. He'd be like, look at my yoga thing. And then it would be generally, I think it would be if Paul posted just whatever he was thinking, it would be just obnoxious Paul talking about John stories. Just so much of it's like, we get it. He's like, did I tell you my other story? Yeah, dude, we know. And he's like, okay, but what about this time with John? We know. Yeah, okay, but there's another story about John. Okay, we know. It's okay, Paul. We get it. Like, and then this. What if Paul's secret account is justice for James Paul McCartney? He would probably do that shit. People say that John's posts would be wacky as fuck, but that's the image we have of him from like the 1970s. That guy was a lot different from the 1970s than he was in the 1980s. Well, we only had him for a year in 1980. He mellowed out. Well, that's if you buy the house husband narrative, which I don't really. So, like, I don't think that that's an accurate depiction of John. I don't think he was that happy. I think he was happy at times, but I don't think he was that happy. I think Paul has secret accounts. I think he plays with Beatle fans on YouTube. I think that he probably would, yeah. John and the nativity story I love. Yeah. Like I think John would have loved social media, and I think he would have loved like the filters and all kinds of shit. Um but I think something about all of them, which I appreciate because we've seen this with Ringo and Paul. And for some reason, I'm going to give Ringo the hair dye pass. I don't know what this is about for me, but I'm like, it kind of works. Maybe it's because he wears sunglasses all the time, but we'll let him have his hair dye. But I feel like all four Beatles would just age completely gracefully. And I got to say, because I'm not naive, whoever does Barb's work, like Botox, any facelifts, does a really good job. Like, she's aged really well with whatever work she's had done. If Paul and John interacted together, they would basically be a bickering old couple. Yeah, that's how they interacted together all the time. John had one of the first video recorders in 1967. Exactly. John would be on TikTok. Isn't that annoying? He'd be like, "You might not believe your eyes." Imagining Paul on his iPad fucking with random Beatles fans on social media. I love there will be like sometimes I'll find photos of Paul and he'll be like holding his iPad and it's just like a menu. He'll just be like, it's just him at a table alone. I find so many selfie photos from John. I love the selfie photos from John. I love how awkward every selfie photo is from George. He's like, one of my friends who's like a diehard Ringo fan, we joke about how Ringo would kind of, it's funny because it's like he's learning how to smile through faces where he's like, and then he's like, and then he finally gets to, John would be king of the Irish. The label on Ringo's hair dye is salt and Sergeant Pepper. It would be Liam and John boozing in an Irish bar. I love that. John would also do gaming live streams on YouTube, I feel. John would be like Fortnite skins. I feel like John would like during lockdown era, John and Sean would have been on Among Us fucking with people. They would have been raising money, yeah, sure, but they would have been assholes about it. And they would have been like, George, come on. George, come on. And he'd be like, absolutely not. he'd be like, under no circumstance. They'd get Ringo on the call. Ringo would not play, but Ringo would be like, ha. And he would say, see, here's the thing about Ringo that we all need to come and understand, because Ringo comes off like a hardcore asshole in interviews, but it's because he still thinks that jokes are the same way that they were when he did all four press conferences. So he's like, he'll say something and he'll go like, he thinks he's being cheeky, but he comes off like a dick. So we have to translate, because Ringo has culturally aged the worst. He's trying. John would be baking bread on TikTok. John would have been like, and here's my sourdough starter. John would have a Nintendo Switch and be a gaming rat. He'd love to have an NES back in the day. Oh, yeah. By the way, I love Ringo. I feel emotional when I see him in concert. I love Ringo so much. I love the selfie photos from John, but I've also seen an increase in AI generated Beatles selfies on TikTok, and it reminded me of that. I got to tell you, if I see anybody using generative AI, I immediately unfollow. And I might shit on you too, depending on how I feel. like somebody commented on my anthology video and I saw their user and it looked like a real weird Paul photo. And I was like, that's Javier Bardem and Paul put together. That's not Paul McCartney. So I clicked on it and I looked and it was all Beatle generated music. And I said something, I responded to whatever they said in a real snarky dickhead way. And then I go, P.S. Generative AI is like completely morally bankrupt and you're a dickhead for doing it or something. Like, I was not nice about it. But I don't have any regrets. If you use generative AI, you should stop. Also, do not use Chat GPT to look shit up. You guys are intelligent people. You guys can look stuff up on whatever browser you use. Paul was filming at the Oasis LA gig. So he must have his own private stash of videos. Yeah, for sure. And I have no idea what his own private stash of videos would look like, but it's probably amazing. Why is that my book? That's not the book I was reading last. Sorry. I don't want that book on my thingy. I'll pick literally any other book than that one. Okay. And the thrill of a lifetime for Oasis to be in this stash. Let's see. It's sad knowing that the Beatles Wordle site uses generative AI art. I just can't stand it. I'm like, good Photoshop. We can handle like good and bad Photoshop. Love the ones where they put the little bows on the Beatles and it's like, oh, cute. Look at George with the little pink bows. Generative AI, I fucking hate. Oh my God. Okay. So I just picked, like, I just didn't want this certain book on my front page. So I clicked on Revolution in the Head by Ian McDonald, which I use for like music breakdowns and my stuff. And this is what it says, recommended further reading. And I'm only going to stop at a certain point because I don't need to get in a fight with anybody. But it starts with this, which is the most disturbing. Despite its hostile portrait of McCartney, Philip Norman's shout remains the sharpest account of the Beatles' career. For balance, supplement it with Barry Miles' definitive Paul McCartney many years from now, one of the best books on the Beatles and full of prime McCartney reminiscences. Hunter Davies' 1960 study is racily informative and it contains valuable reportage on the Beatles' writing methods. The two-volume biography of Lennon by Ray Coleman is reliably compete. Pete Shotton's book is a revealing, affectionate portrait of the boyhood friendship. Let's see. Lennon's interview with Rolling Stone's Playboy afford vital glimpses into his turbulent mind. Spencer Lee's Speaking Words of Wisdom and Derek Taylor's warm and evocative. It was 20 years ago today. Imagine saying that about Philip Norman, who I believe to be the second most disgusting Beatle author. I can't even put Albert. I don't think Albert Goldman belongs on a list for author, so he doesn't even go on there. Giuliano's first. And no, Lewison, I'm not going to put a Lou Count up there. He doesn't even make top 10 worst. Like, it's not even like, yeah, I shit on him for Tune In. Like, but his work is indispensable in the Chronicle era. He's just, he lost it at some point. So but he doesn't belong in a worst author category, like, at all. Just, fell off. What are your thoughts on Paul possibly meeting John outside a news agent in Liverpool where he was given half a chocolate bar by John? I think Bono talked about Paul's account of it in his book. I don't know. Like, I don't really have any thoughts about it right now, specifically. I don't really, I don't know. Like, sometimes, things are a little contradictory. I wonder if he shows it to Noel and says, well, that was good, but you need to tighten up that last verse. Probably. I'm going to buy the Ian Leslie book soon. Yes. Nothing related, but those AI Beatles topics reminded me that I used to participate on a Reddit thread about creating Beatles fake albums, and some people generated album covers only to get shit for it. Oof. Yeah. Jade, sorry, I don't have a good answer. I'm so emotionally wrecked right now. Um, I haven't read Bono's book either, which I have to. Angel, we have too much shit to read because I have to look at his book for the Live Aid stuff. I have too many books to read. I'm so tired. My brain is stuck in. We have an idea of what Paul and George thought of Oasis at one point. I wonder what John would think. Would he like Liam imitating him, or would he say Buddy be someone else? That depends on which John you're hearing from that day. He would say both of those things, I think. And he would feel both of those things equally. Bono's book is pretty good. Do the audiobook though. He has a really nice narrating voice / accent. I don't do audiobooks very often for studying stuff because I will usually read them the first way through for fun and read them the second way through for notes if it's a Beatles book. If it's a solo book, I'll look up just the topic generally. Same thing though, for fun and then for notes. Um, because if it's going into a video, it has to be for fun and then to vote notes. Um, but if it's like a fun reading, oh, Athena, good morning. But if it's like for fun reading, then I will do audiobooks because they're fun. And I like a long book. I like a Stephen King. I like a long book. I like, I see 20 hours on that audiobook. I'm like, sign me up. Oh, guys, if you are into dystopian shit, please tell me. Tell me what to listen to. Athena says, good morning. Did you get the Quantic? What is that? I'm stupid. What is that, Alan? I feel like an idiot in the Oasis field because I just don't know very much about them, like outside of just the general what George said about them and then like just kind of their hits. I don't know what happened, but I have a lot of difficulty reading now. I can't focus on the book anymore and I need to fix that. No shame, Jade, about how you read books. If you listen or if you read, a lot of people listen, they take in the information while they're cleaning or whatever, they're getting stuff done. Jade, don't feel bad about it. I personally feel like audiobooks are reading, they count and they should. And to say that they don't count is actually super ableist, and I don't want you to shit on yourself for that. The Making of the White Album, Nancy has it. No, I don't have it, but I can get it. I can get it immediately. Let's see. David Quantic. Okay. Let me see. I get recommended books so quickly and I try my best to get them and then scare. Well, let me check archive first before I David Quantic. Why did you sign me out, bitch? Okay. Okay, I don't see that. So we'll go over here. Sorry, guys, I'm finding this book. I'm still pissed off about somebody saying that Philip Norman was good. Like, come on. This is very weird. This person's breadth of work. Huh. Let me see what I can find here. Can't find this person's book. I'm buying it. That's for fucking sure. Well, we'll see if I can find it somewhere else. I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I'm kind of like, I don't know what you could tell me. I know that's awful, but let's see here. How much does this shit cost? $17. I don't know. I might be able to swing it. $17 is a lot of money these days in Lars land, I gotta tell you. Demons and Cocktails by Stuart Cable. Okay. I miss living in the city. I didn't need a car and would always bring a book. Yeah, no kidding. There's a lovely video of Noel. Is it Noel or Noel, guys? I'm sorry. Somebody tell me. Pointing out a young girl in the audience and saying, "You've been crying all night." I've seen that video. I don't feel like Oasis sounds all much like the Beatles. Yeah, I don't really either. I don't think it sounds like them at all. I think I get some vibes like, or people feel like that. Hi, Jerry. Alice, the prices are too rich for me. Let's see. Angel, I've been fascinated too, though not enough to actually pay to see them. Yeah, no kidding. I can't. No. The prices are too rich for me, but it's cool to see so many people happy and it's rock music. Give us rockers hope. I think it's great. I'm so happy for the Oasis fans and for the Oasis fans being able to see them in person, and for the likelihood or inevitability of a like a video of, or like a, a live show. It would be amazing. But yeah, I think it sounds like everybody is just having a wonderful time, and I think it's wonderful. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a dick. I just don't think there's, at this point, a whole lot. Like, I'll read this guy's book if I can find it. But and I know people that can find me books, but it's like, I don't know, man. I've learned a lot about the White Album that did not go into that fucking video. That video could have been double the length. Let me check my. I could ask my library to get it, probably. Let me check. Let me check a couple places. Let me see if I can find it. I just cannot believe. Somebody told me or mentioned like an alternative to the Beatles recording sessions or Ian McDonald's Revolution in the Head. What do you guys know what I'm talking about? It was somebody who said, it was somebody who was like, this man listened to this and like paid attention while he was dying. Like, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, I found it. How long is this book? Okay. All right, I found it. That's all it takes, is just a little bit of luck. Let's see. Take a video of yourself crying at Ringo's concert. No, yeah, you're gonna have to go to Patreon for that. This is not gonna be a video for YouTube. This is gonna be something for the Patreons or the gold passport holders, who are mostly my friends, and it's gonna be a thing for me, and so I really want. There are some things where I was talking to my partner about this, where it's like, and this sounds so shitty, but it's like, there's stuff that I have to like enjoy for myself. Which song are you most excited for Ringo to play? Octopus Garden. But yeah, if you guys want more stuff from me, go to Patreon, patreon.com/LarsLand. Let's see. Do you think Peter Jackson would be the type to bootleg his cleaned up Star Club if Apple refused to leave it? No, I don't think he would. I don't think he would be dumb enough to do anything to malign his relationship with Apple or the remaining Beatles. I think he respects them, unlike other people. So let's see here. But yeah, I'm glad that I got that. Let's see here. Okay. Ugh, I've been like emotionally wrecked since I cried. There's a good feeling in the audience at all the Oasis shows. That's really sweet. I'm glad. I feel like everything has been so like, ugh. I'm hoping to have a really fun, blasty time. No way. I guess the only thing Peter Jackson have is maybe some exclusive footage remastered for himself and some tunes, but that's all. No, I think he's got a lot. I just don't think that he's going to share it without the Beatles or the States releasing them. I think he's got a lot more, but he's not even going to talk about it because I think that they trust him to clean it up, or Park Studios to clean it up. And if they don't like the result, they're not going to release it. The Peter Jackson vault. Yeah, I think that he's got a lot. I do. He's got, I mean, he has more from the vault that he isn't talking about. Maybe he even has Carnival of Light. I think he could. Like, I don't think that it's impossible. They've trusted him with so much shit, and his team with so much shit, that I don't know how many NDAs he's under. Probably like the most airtight NDAs of all time. But I think I know quite a bit about Peter Jackson, like beyond his work with the Beatles, beyond his work with Lord of the Rings, though that's where it started for me. But I know a lot about his early filming career. I know a lot about him. And I really respect the man, and I trust him. Like, I trust his work, and he works really hard to keep the soul of the item of what he's working with if he works from source material. And I think that he's got a lot of stuff. Meet the Feebles is amazing. I've seen too many Peter Jackson films. We own too many of them. Meet the Feebles is fucking crazy if you haven't seen it. Bad Taste is my favorite. Some of his early shit is wild. Wild. We went through a phase a couple years ago. Really. I just can't believe that Ian McDonald said all that shit about Philip Norman. I just don't think I'm ever going to respect him again. I'm like, you're dead to me. No, not really. But it does color a certain thing, doesn't it? All right, guys, I'm emotionally rocked after sobbing my face off here. 80 pages of this book. Okay, I guess. No, I think that this is a different book. Damn, that sucks. I will find that fucking book. Anyway, I'm emotionally exhausted. I'm wrecked. I'm gonna hop off here, and I'm sorry for the shitty stream. I love you guys, and you know, all this stuff. If you want more shit from me, go to patreon.com/LarsLand. That's where the Ringo stuff will be. And I'm going dark for a little bit because I got to. Alrighty, I love you guys so much. And I'll probably post some photos tomorrow on the community tab. Okay. And y'all come back now you hear. Bye.